China is preparing for one of its most important political and military events of the year. But this time the spotlight is not only on tanks, missiles, and soldiers. The real attention is on the leaders standing next to Xi Jinping. Instead of Western partners, Beijing is drawing in some of the most heavily sanctioned and politically isolated figures in the world. For many observers, this is not just a parade, but a political message about where China stands in today's global order. On September 3rd, Beijing will hold its Victory Day celebrations to mark the surrender of Japan in World War II. Traditionally, this event highlights China's sacrifice and victory during the war, but in 2025 it is being turned into a display of new partnerships. The Washington Post reports that Russian President Vladimir Putin, North Korea's Kim Jong-un, and Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian will all stand with Xi in Tiananmen Square, sending a clear signal of unity against Western dominance. Also attending will be Myanmar's military leader Min Aung Hlaing, who rarely travels abroad due to widespread condemnation of his regime. His presence, confirmed by China's foreign ministry, shows Beijing's ability to gather leaders who are largely unwelcome in most parts of the world. For Xi, this demonstrates that China is a safe political hub for governments the West has chosen to isolate. While more than 24 foreign leaders will join the parade, Western representation will be very small. Only Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico and Serbia's President Aleksandar Vučić are expected, while major powers such as the US, UK, Germany, and France will remain absent. Outlets like Reuters and the New York Times describe this absence as evidence that Beijing is trying to lead what it sees as an alternative order that contrasts with Washington-led alliances. Political experts say Xi's choice of allies is deliberate. Alfred Wu, a professor at Singapore's Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy, told regional media that she wants to show both strength at home and influence abroad. Years ago, she admired Putin as a model of leadership. Today, he stands beside him as an equal, backed by leaders who openly reject the West, Wu said. Research centers such as the Council on Foreign Relations call this emerging circle of countries an axis of upheaval. The phrase highlights their shared resistance to sanctions and willingness to support each other in areas such as defense cooperation, trade in oil and gas, and diplomatic backing at the United Nations. Analysts warn that such a grouping could make it harder for the US and Europe to keep up pressure on Russia over Ukraine or North Korea over its nuclear weapons. Putin's visit is seen as one of the most symbolic moments of the parade. He is wanted by the International Criminal Court for alleged war crimes in Ukraine and is unwelcome in most European capitals. But in Beijing, he is not isolated, he is celebrated. Russia's economy has been deeply damaged by sanctions since its 2022 invasion of Ukraine, but trade with China has helped Moscow stay afloat. Beijing is now Russia's biggest buyer of oil and gas, and hosting Putin on such a platform gives him the legitimacy he struggles to find elsewhere. Kim Jong-un's attendance also carries weight. North Korea, under severe UN sanctions, is one of China's only formal treaty allies. According to BBC News, Pyongyang has been increasing its military ties with both Russia and China in recent years. His presence next to Xi and Putin shows that North Korea is being brought more tightly into this anti-Western camp, which some analysts see as a dangerous shift in Northeast Asia's security balance. Iran's participation highlights the economic side of this partnership. The Financial Times reports that China now purchases nearly 90% of Iran's oil exports, a vital financial channel that keeps Tehran's economy alive despite heavy U.S. sanctions. This trade allows Iran to continue its regional policies while strengthening China's long-term energy security. For both sides, the arrangement is politically and economically valuable. Myanmar, despite being condemned globally for human rights abuses, provides China with strategic minerals like rare earths, which are essential for green technology, electric vehicles, and modern electronics. By welcoming Min Aung Hlaing, she signals that China is ready to work with regimes